Yeah, welcome to this video tutorial brought to you by MS Graphics Studio. So in our today's video tutorial, we'll be learning how to create this amazing food flyer from scratch just using our smartphone, using the software PixelLab. I know you don't want to miss this, so I want you to subscribe to this channel and like this video tutorial whilst we begin. So now we'll start from scratch. So I'll press the default button here so that we can start from scratch. So we start from scratch. Now the first thing we have to do is to erase this text here, and then we have to adjust our shape, the image space, that's the working space that we have here. This working space, we have to increase it a little bit. So we increase it. So when you come to the image size here, to increase it. So we come to image size, and then we make the height 1480. Yes, so this is going to be the height that we are going to use. So the second thing we have to do is to look for the background color. We come here to give the color to the background. We're not going to use gradient, so we'll pick normal color. So we scroll until we get our orange color. Okay, so this is okay. So after getting our orange color, we are going to import a shape using the plus sign here. We import a shape because color black. Then we click the mark sign here to continue. Then from there you select the black shape, then you come to mask. That's the mask. You come to mask, you click on it, then you rotate. You come here to rotate the shape of the mask. Okay, then we'll come here to move it. We'll come here to move the mask. So before we can increase the size of the mask, we need to come here to increase the size of the mask. This is okay. Then we come here again to move the mask. After moving the mask, then we come to the relative position here to make sure we position it in the middle exactly. Click here to position it in the middle exactly. Good. Then we come here to lock it where the layers are. Come here and we lock the shape there. Then the next thing that we have to do is to bring our food image, the soup image or the stew image. Then we click on the plus sign there to import from gallery. Tap from gallery here to bring the image. For this here, you bring it, you enlarge it. Just remember to place it in the middle. After that, we are going to transfer the food image to the back. So we can do that by just clicking the button here to back or to front. Refer to here to here. It's now that we are going to use the back and to front to here. So now we are moving it to back. Then we come to layer and we lock it too, so that our hand will not be moving. Now the next thing that we have to do is to bring our text. We need to bring our text. And what's the test? The first test is chop. So we're going to write our chop. We increase the size. We increase the size of the chop. The second test is live. Now we are going to make use of the grid here, the grid tool here. This grid tool is used to find an alignment to the text or any image that you are using on your design space. So we click on it to get this thing. Then you click on the tool setting here, this one here, to align it to where you want it to be. The lines, the grid lines to where you want it to be. So you want to click on it and bring it here to make sure that the text is in line with what we want, and we position it ourselves. Good. You can decide to leave it, or me, I prefer leaving it on the design. Then you are going to give it a black color. You're going to give your text a black color. Going to give your text a black color, same as this. Then we'll lock the both of them. Now what we are going to do is to make sure that we get a font, a bold font. We need to find a bold font, and these are the fonts that we have here. We need a bold one. Okay, so we are going to use the days font. The days font, the one here. I'm going to use it. Then you come to the light tool and give it that same font. So after that, we add our second text, no dull moment. Remember, it's also dark. We come to style to italize it. Then we minimize it a little bit. But this one is too spaced. The dull moment is no dull moment is too spaced. So we'll come to the line spacing here and we'll reduce the space. So this is the work of the line spacing tool. Okay, so now we are going to import a zigzag shape and place it under the dull moment. Okay, it's here. Now this is the zigzag shape that we have here. It's part of the resources that I'll be giving you. Don't worry about it. So now we have the zigzag shape under it. And remember that the zigzag shape is dark in color, so you need to change this color to black. Good. Now let's import a shape because I want to create some, and we'll increase the radius to 10. 10 will be okay. Then we give it some red light color here. Yes, we give it this color. We're going to place it under our food. So we click we'll come here and we'll put it to back because we want it to be behind everything. So we'll click it to back here. See, now you can see that it's behind everything. So we save, we lock it as well so that our hand will not mistakenly move it. And now we are going to add another shape to the corner here. So that shape, we are going to give it the same color, and we increase the radius to 15, I guess. 15 is too much. I think 15 is too much. Say, okay, let's make it a 15. Then in that we are going to write put a text, and we write taste from home. We minimize it. We send it there. If you like, you can give it an italic color character to make it look nice. This way, it's very important to be locking those shapes or the items that you've imported or you are using on your, so that you not be moving them accidentally. Okay. Then from here we need to lock it too. Next thing we have to do is to bring some sort of water splash effect that will add to the chop. Yes. Don't worry, but the color is black, so now this is it. When you add it to the text this way, maybe good. And you lock it too. Now you add your kitchen. Because my name is Courage, I'm going to use my own name too for my kitchen. You can use your own name too. So if your name is Adam, just write Adam's Kitchen. Adam's Kitchen. So let me use Adam's Kitchen. But you can use your own name since it's your design. So I'm going to use Adam's Kitchen. Right, okay. Let me make it look like somehow a logo. We add a K. Then I can use the relative here. This is the use of the relative sign, the position here. So we can use it to position it. Since I cannot hold it with my hand, I can just come here and position it. So that won't be found wanting. Okay, I'll give it a black color. Good. So now I have to write my number, my contact. You can also write yours. Since the design is for you, I will advise you to write yours, your own. So I'm writing my number +233. Make my comma 050. I advise you write your number, okay? And bring it here so that for you to know that it's really in the middle, you come to the relative, this thing here, you give it the middle position. Good. Then again, we import our white shape. give it a radius and bring it down. You make sure it's in the middle. You come to your relative again. Good. Then you have to make sure you lock all of them so that you don't mistakenly move them. Then I write Adam's Kitchen. At this one, I'm going to write my social media handle. So let me say at Adam's Kitchen. Okay, then I give it a black color. Good. And I have to make sure it's also in the middle. I come to relative position and make sure I lock it. And it's like the background is also too deep. Let me see if you can get a normal background. I think this one is okay, so we use this one instead. Now the other one is too deep, so let's use this one instead. So now what we have to do is to add the remaining some ingredients to this flyer so that it will look very nice. So we add some onion and some kind of leaves to it so that it will look very nice. So now we add our onion here. This is not bad. For us to, I think it's too big. Yes. For us to make it look real, we are going to give it a shadow effect. You come to shadow here. And we'll reduce it a little bit. 5 is okay. Instead of importing the same thing, we can just copy it rotate it to how we want it. And we lock it. Then we need to import our leaf. Yes, so now we have our leaf. We import it, we minimize it. One here. And we copy, we enlarge it, and bring it down here. And it's too big. Yes, then bring it down here. We lock it. And again, we add an effect, a line through it to make it look more nicer. So when you come to designing, you have to put ingredients together before you can be able to make your design more nicer. I'll add this line. We are going to use this orange light color, this one, the one here. I'm going to use this color. So you bring it here. You enlarge it. I think this is. Then you can bring it under it. You bring it, you press, bring back to back. If you don't like it this way, you can still rotate it to give it the feeling that you want. You can rotate it to give you the shape and how you want it to look. Yes, so I like it this way, so I'll leave mine like this. Yes, but I will like to use one of these onion to be the moving type. have to make sure I lock everything so that I will not move them accidentally. I'm going to use a motion onion. If you look at the leaf very well, you can see there's motion leaf that I've used. So let me pick one motion onion. Yes, this is a motion onion. I'll bring it here. Then we have come to the end of our food flyer design. Then the next thing you have to do is to save it. Come to the save sign here to save it as an image. Then you come to whether you decide to select high, ultra, this is, so let's select high. Then you can save. Good. So this flyer, then you are done. Maybe you want to save it as a project so that you can review it and do some editings on it again. So I'll just save it food flyer. Then this one, I can come to my project and still have access to it. Yes, so it's here.